Hello, my dear friends. Good Chodesh. We now start lesson 4 in my new sefer, where I take a pasuk and I try to break it into pieces. So the pasuk I chose is Nara Yisi Gam Zakanti V'lo Ra'isi Tzadik Ne'ezov V'zarim Vakesh Lochem. Psalms 37:25. I was young, I also aged, and I have not seen a righteous man forsaken and his seed seeking bread. We know that the Talmud in Soita debates this pasuk. It asks, who was it that could have been both young and old, to see so much of life, to know that throughout all the generations there was never such an event? David HaMelech is repeating over these words, and we almost mistaken that these were his original words. But the way he says it, just the way he says it, but it also shows that he believes that he has never seen a righteous person forsaken or seeking bread. Rashi explains that it must be the chief angel, the chief malach, not David or anyone else whom we first think of. The question remains though, why even state the beginning part of this pasuk at all? I was young and also age. Rav Yosef said there's a tradition extant that a diligent young scholar will never become poor. But we see that he sometimes does become poor. Still, we have never seen one so poor that he has to beg for his bread from house to house. The Talmud says in Shabbos 151b. So why did Rabbi Yosef add that a diligent young scholar? Why did he add these words to what he was saying? What about an older scholar? Or if someone is a scholar, obviously they're going to be diligent, or they wouldn't be a scholar. Why say a diligent and also this young scholar? Marshall explains a Torah scholar has a larger network of admirers than he's able than the normal an ordinary person is able to have. So if the scholar faces deprivation, these partons, these people close to him, are able to at least support him to the extent that he will not be forced to go begging. Alternatively, he will avoid begging at people's doors by forcing himself to live on less means, on less rations, so he wouldn't have to succumb to this. But this explanation doesn't quench my thirst, as I like taking the pasuk more in the face value. Also, that might explain an older scholar, as he has more life experience to live with less funds. But a younger scholar, he's seeking more luxuries. Also, if he's a scholar and a righteous man, the original pasuk says he will not be forsaken in seeking bread. If he has to even worry about his sustenance at all, it seems to me that he's forsaken. Back in the Gemara, said Rav Chia to his wife, if thou seest a man about to beg bread from thee, hasten and give it to him, that he might at some other time do likewise for your children. Said she to him, are you cursing our children? Nay, no. I'm simply quoting the verse above, as interpreted by the school of Rabbi Shmuel, that poverty is a wheel continuously turning. Now it must be that Rav Chia didn't see himself as a scholar due to his great humility. Otherwise, how could he even fathom that Hashem would make him poor and needing to worry about the day of bread at some point? This idea that poverty is a revolving wheel works for the general population, but the sage, he's above all these things, isn't he? So let's go back to Rav Yosef's statement. There's a tradition extant that a diligent young scholar will never become poor. The Gemara couldn't just leave this statement alone, but it knew that many of us would question it. Then go so far to admit that there will be very few who will be poor, but even so, it won't be so bad for them, as Rashi explains. They won't have to embarrass themselves seeking a solution. Rav Yosef's statement still stands on its own merit. You see, for us onlookers, we see the scholar living a simple life, in which we consider from our own high materialistic standards as him being poor. But he isn't really poor at all. Whatever he needs, Hashem gives him. We, on the other hand, always feel lacking, and we always need more. Nara yisi gamza kanti, v'lo yisi tzadik nezo, v'zar vakesh lochem. If you take the numerical value of each of the first letters of the pasuk, you get a total of 487. This is also equivalent to the word mileshiv. I have filled him. Mileshiv. Not only will the sage be taken care of, but he will be filled with blessing and sustenance. The idea of not being poor is being satisfied. There are plenty of rich people out there, and if you ask them if they're satisfied with their life, few will really answer yes, and if they do, they're lying to you. When we look at our with materialistic eyes, we need the Gemara to clarify Rav Yosef's words, but with a spiritual understanding, we see that his words stand. So why did he emphasize that a young scholar, but not an old one, would not become poor? It's because when a scholar is young, the Torah is still new to him. Each day, he progresses and he feels great in his learning. And he feels fulfilled. The old scholar, he already knows much. And he realizes that after so many years, he knows nothing. He's sensitive to everything because he wishes he could take back every precious year of his life so he could use the time more wisely. He also appreciates more of the pain of others. And he wishes he could support others, but he only has his fill. Therefore, he may not be satisfied with his lot only because he doesn't have enough for others. This is why you may see a scholar poor, because he takes his fill and he's giving it always to other people. So Rav Chia told his wife, "If thou seest a man about to beg for bread from thee, quickly hurry and give it to him, that he might at some other time do so likewise for your children." Rav Chia was telling her, don't think twice about giving charity because it's not so simple. 1 minute someone can be up and the next minute down. The Gemara explains further. Rabbi Gamliel Bar Rebbe says, whoever is compassionate towards Hashem's creatures is shown compassion from heaven. As stated above, the older sage especially feels a lacking because he has become more sensitive towards the needs of others. The enlightened master knows he lacks nothing, so he prays for his people. But if he lacks nothing, then he knows that in truth they also lack nothing. And if so, for what is he praying? If he prays they should have open eyes to see and open hearts to know that in truth they lack nothing. But how can one who lacks nothing pray? Because he knows he himself lacks nothing. But deeper, at its very core, he is his people and he prays as one of them. It says in Mamar Tefillah the Moshe. Rav Shalom Sprintz Shlita once explained that Rachamim, mercy, really means more than merely feeling bad for another person, but rather it means actually attempting to fill another's lack. So the sage lacks because he feels for others beyond himself. The original pasuk says that you will not see his seed seeking bread. At first glance you might think this is referring only to his children, but it extends beyond this. Anyone who teaches his friend's children Torah, it's considered as if he gave birth to him, as it says in Sanhedrin 19a. So not only will the tzaddik be lacking nothing, but his disciples can also become included in this. But how do you become like a child of the sage and therefore feel satisfied with your life? It says in Kuti Eitzos, charity, the merit of those who support the Torah and give money for Torah scholars is very great indeed. This money makes it possible for them to devote themselves to Torah, to give birth to new legal rulings and to open up new horizons in the Torah. Those who gave money therefore have a share in the Torah, which was born and revealed through their help. But it seems strange. The sage lacks nothing, yet we give him money to support him. is because for him the wheel is turning faster. As we learned above, the school of Ishmael taught that poverty is a wheel continuously turning. The tzaddik forces the realm of nature to keep having to change themselves. The heavens belong to Hashem, and the land was given to mankind, it says in the Psalms 115:16, which means that mankind, the Jew, is above the constellations. But Rav Chanina said, Mazel gives wisdom. It gives wealth. And Israel is affected by it. But Rav Yochanan stated, Israel is not affected by Mazel. We learn further that through prayer, a Jew can change their destiny. Who is it that perfects the idea of prayer and changes the entire cycle of the world? It is the tzaddik, it is the sage. For the Chachamim taught, who rules over me? It's a tzaddik. It says in Moed 16b. How does a righteous man rule? The Gemara explains, through his yiras Hashem, through his fear of God. Through fear of Hashem, a person realizes that who they really are. When a person realizes this, they will be happy with their lot. Rav Zusha was famous for saying, I'm not worthy of Hashem's asking. He was famous for saying, I worry not of Hashem's asking why I was not as great as Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, or any other great man. I worry about Hashem asking me why I wasn't as great as Rav Zusha could have been. Only a small minority of people obtain the necessary wisdom to look at the world with complete objectivity. They take a critical look at each and everything and try to understand everything as it is really. Instead of looking at the general a prevalent look. Most people even see themselves as trying to fit into the mold of society, even if it means suppressing their own individuality, which makes them unique. Ben Zoma said, who is rich? He who is satisfied with his lot. A few other choice remarks of the rabbis come to mind. One who has 100 wants 200, says in Koheles. One who loves money will not be satisfied with money. One who increases possessions increases worry. Nechavos Halavavos writes in the intro to Shar B'Tochin, one who trusts in Hashem is secure against mishaps, and his heart is assured against future potential bad things. Whatever comes to him from Hashem, he will accept with joy and gladness, and his livelihood comes to him peacefully, quietly, and happily. As is written, he causes me to lie down in green pastures. He leads me beside still waters, it says in Psalms 23. If you take the first letter of the Pasuk, Binois desha yarbitzeni, al me menuchois yinaleni. If you take the first letter, Beis, and Dalid, Yud, Al, Ayin, Mem and Yud, you get a total of 176. This is equivalent to the word V'yatselem, and he delivered them. This is because when you put your faith where it belongs, then Hashem is my shepherd, I shall lack nothing, as it says. In fact, even one's enemies will make peace with him, as it says in Proverbs 16:7. In his parish in the Chumash, in Heichal HaBracha, the Kamarna Rebbe says, the light of Yosef HaTzadik enlightened all the worlds and all the spheroids. It lit up the world from one end of the world to the other. It was as bright as the sun. But the brothers had no idea that he was such a bright light. As is written in the Holy Zohar in Parshas Vayeshev, Yosef was everything and was the source of everything. All abundance flowed to the world through him. Yosef was at times able to hide his light and his power. Yosef was handsome and lovely to see. It was like a yatom, an orphan, it says. Now the true tzaddik is like an orphan, and he is completely hidden. He's totally concealed and no one knows anything about him. While the worthy person conceals himself, Hashem is watching over him. From the outside, we may look upon this person as lacking due to observing his simple lifestyle. But what we don't realize is that every person is not lacking. Every humble person is not lacking. We think he is lacking because it is us who is unsatisfied. I was young and I also aged. I have not seen a righteous man forsaken and a seed seeking bread. Why is this? Because the tzaddik is the foundation of the world. It says in Proverbs 10:25. Nara yisi gavavam zokanti veloro yisi sadik nezov veloro yisi sadik nezov vizaro mevakesh lochem Hashem os li'amo yitain Hashem os li'amo yitain Hashem yivorech esamo shalom. Thank you so much. Please share.